What's good, Commanders fans? Preview of the home opener against the New York Giants. Basically, a do or die game for the season if we do want to have a competitive season. I get us a rebuild, recalibration year. But you definitely don't want to start off 0-2 against a mediocre Giants team with Daniel Jones, who's on his last life in New York, getting booed out of his home stadium. His jersey's getting burned at MetLife Stadium. You watch all the Hard Knocks episodes, and none of the GM doesn't believe him. The coach doesn't believe him. They want to draft a quarterback, bring other quarterbacks in. So, I mean, you got to win this game, especially after how awful the Giants were against the Vikings last week. But, of course, this preview is brought to you by BetUS. Make sure you guys check out BetUS. They got a new promo code, YouTube150 for new users. So make sure you guys check out BetUS. They are sponsoring this video and a lot of videos this upcoming season. But we want to start off, of course, with the injury report. The captains, update on Johnny Newton, and Emmanuel Forbes had a successful surgery, so that's good news for Emmanuel Forbes. I know yesterday Ian Rappaport said what did he say, like a big loss in the tweet or something like that for the for the Commanders, and other people were saying, yeah, it's definitely not a big loss at all. Emmanuel Forbes being out, but I wish Emmanuel Forbes well. I hope a speedy recovery for Emmanuel Forbes as well, but honestly, this really could be addition by subtraction for the next couple of games. Honestly, yeah, he said having a big blow. It is a blow to the secondary for the Commanders, and it definitely won't be a blow, to be honest with you guys, at all. I hate to pile on Emmanuel Forbes, but I do honestly. I think our secondary will be a little bit better this game. I'm not gonna say a lot better, but I think Noah Igbenogany, I thought he played pretty well in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. He played solid. And then Michael Davis, I'm interested to see what he does. And Mekhi Singer still definitely has to have a bounce-back game. But let's quickly get through the injury report and captains. So captains for this game are Frankie Louvu and Tyler Biadasz, who's had a really good career against the Giants, and Percy Butler. Now, some people are surprised that Percy Butler is a good special teams player, solid backup rotational safety. I have no problems with it. So Dan Quinn, he's there with the guys every day. So we don't know what Percy Butler's saying in the locker room or doing during the games or saying during the game. So I guess he's earned the right to be a captain. So good for him. And it's going to be different guys each week. So it's not going to be Jeremy Reeves every game. It's not going to be Tressway every game or Terry every game or Jaden every game. Every game is going to be different, which I personally, I don't really care to get caught up into it. I kind of would rather see Jaden get it every week. Or he has to earn it, clearly. Or Tressway get it every. Kind of just keep the same three guys. But I guess Bobby Wagner has not been named the captain. But we know he's a vocal leader. So, but like I said, it doesn't matter to me as long as we go out there and win games on Sundays. That's all I really care about. That's all I care about. All right. Wale will be performing at halftime. I know you guys know that we will be wearing the gold pants. Just getting that information out the way. And then Vernon Davis is supposed to be a legend featured at the game if you guys are going to the game. So that's what you guys will be seeing at the game. And there's a couple other go-go bands that will be performing. So I wish I could go to the game. It would be a nice experience and fun and all that. But I know you guys are going to enjoy the game and have a great time if you guys are going. Make sure you guys comment down below if you guys are going. So let's get to the injury report here. Let's transition to that real quick. So they have not released it for today, but I'll just go off of yesterday's. We kind of know it's probably going to be the same. So Emmanuel Forbes' thumb is not going to play. They already announced he's not going to play, but he's not going on injured reserve, so he could be back sooner than later. And I already said yesterday that I think this is kind of like an easy way to bench him rather than just outright benching him. I think it's an easier way for the coaches to do it. And I'm not saying this is what they're doing. I think he probably is legitimately injured with the thumb injury. He probably injured the thumb on the face mask and pass interference that he did in the Buccaneers game. But this is just PR. It's just an easy way out for the coaches where they don't have to bench him. He can just sit out for the next 2 or 3 games, and they can evaluate Michael Davis, Noah I, maybe bring up Chiggy to the roster, Chiggy Inuzium, the Colorado State undrafted free agent that they paid a nice bonus to, or signing bonus. And Mikey Sanders still, of course, is going to start. And then, who else is our backups? It's Michael Davis, Noah I, Michael, Noah I, Mikey, and then Chiggy. That's all the guys. I feel like I'm blanking on somebody else, but Ben St. Juice. How could I forget about Ben St. Juice? He's got to turn his head around in this game against Malik Neighbors. But those are the guys we're going to be throwing out there, and I think they're going to elevate Chiggy to the active roster. Jerzon Newton. They're going to make a decision tomorrow on Johnny Newton. He was limited in practice on Thursday. Probably limited again today. I'm not very optimistic on him playing, but we'll see what happens. We will see. And like I said, I kind of compared it to a Curtis Samuel situation where every week they're waiting until Friday or Saturday to make a decision. He's limited, he's resting throughout the week, and then they try to see if he can go on Friday or Saturday. So we'll see. I'm not going to get too much into detail about Johnny Newton. You know, there's a reason why he dropped to the second round because of the injury history. Great player. He's just got to get on the field. That's all we got. That's all I got to say about him. Brandon Coleman, full participant on Thursday, probably full participant today. Will he split snaps with Cornelius Lucas? Tyler Owens, full participant. Brian Robinson, full participant with a knee injury. And then Trent Scott, full participant with a knee injury. On the Giants side, Malik Neighbors is going to play. He was limited on practice on Thursday, but he's going to play. Nick McLeod, the defensive back, did not participate in practice on Thursday. He most likely is going to play, though. We'll see. Darius Massa, knee injury, did not participate. We'll see. I don't know if he's going to play or not. Darius Slayton, limited with concussion. We'll see if he plays. He usually does have a good game against the Commanders. And then linebacker Micah McFadden, full participant with a groin injury. So that is the injury report right there. And like I said, we'll see what happens with Johnny Newton. Emmanuel Forbes will not play, but he will be back sooner than later. So that is good news. All right, let's get into the keys to victory here in storylines. So before we do that, today's episode, of course, is brought to you by BetUS. Let's get into some of the player props that I do like for this week. So I got B-Rob going over 55.5 rushing yards. I think we should run the ball a lot in this game. We have to establish the run. You look at the Giants last week, they gave up 94 rushing yards to Aaron Jones on the ground, who's a darn good running back. And they gave up 7 yards a carry to Aaron Jones as well. They gave up a touchdown to Aaron Jones as well. Their run defense allowed the 7th highest explosive run rate last week and the 4th highest missed tackle rate and the 6th highest yards after contact per attempt. So like I said, you guys can find this prop on BetUS. The good deal that they got going on right now is 150% bonus on your first 3 deposits, up to $2,000 with code YouTube150 for first-time users. Your fastest payouts in the industry, and also you get 10% back on your net losses twice a year. So make sure you guys check out BetUS. Other props I'm going to go with real quick before we move on to keys to victory is Daniel Jones over 19.5 completions in this game. 6 out of the 7 times Daniel Jones has played Washington, he's gone over 19.5 completions, passing completions. So I got the over on him real quick. Austin Eckler, over 2.5 receptions. I think he's going to get the ball a lot this game, and he should get the ball a lot. I got him getting over 2.5 receptions. B-Rob, I would take the over on 1.5 receptions because Jaden likes to throw the ball to running backs. Terry McLaurin, over 3.5 receptions as well. That's minus 159. So there's a lot of juice on those picks, but I would take the over because Terry, you got to get Terry the football, man. You just got to. You cannot have Deontay Banks talking trash again like he did last year. And Terry's got to get targeted. Like, he's the best player on our offense. You got to feed him the football. You know, I think he's a top 15 receiver in this league. He's a wide receiver 1. You got to feed him football. He cannot have 4 targets in a game. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable by Cliff Kingsbury. That's Eric Bieniemy type stuff right there. Zach Ertz over 2.5 receptions as well. I got him on the over because he had 3 catches last week. Eckler had 4 catches last week, so I think they're going to go over again on the receptions. That's what I like. And then honestly, yeah, that's what I got. Those are my favorite picks. And then Wan'Dale Robinson over 37.5 receiving yards because our secondary is not good, and he's quick and he's fast. He's got speed. And then if you want to take a look at Malik Neighbors over 66.5 receiving yards as well, I wouldn't mind that either because our secondary is just not good. With or without Forbes, I think we're going to be better without Forbes, but the secondary is still not good, and we know that. So once again, make sure you guys check out BetUS. 150% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000 with code YouTube150. So make sure you guys check out BetUS, and we'll go over those props on Monday to see if we cashed out on the majority. At least we want to go, we want to get over 50% of those picks for sure so we can make some money, make some profit. All right, let's move on to keys to victory here and storylines. So Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors, we know they're best friends. They had a wager. They probably, they can't make wagers online and stuff like that. But we know they had a friendly wager of who's going to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. Of course, Daniel Jones. That's the main storyline. 5-1-1 against the Commanders. We cannot let this happen. He needs to be 5-2-1 after he leaves Landover, Maryland. It's just unacceptable to lose to Daniel Jones again and again and again and make him look like Vanilla Vic or Joe Montana or Steve Young. We just can't let that happen. 5 of his 22 career wins is against us, which is terrible, which is a good amount. 10 of his 62 career touchdown passes are against Washington as well. And Washington is one of the 3 teams that he's beaten more than once. Now, he also has a 98 quarterback rating against Washington. Now, against other teams and against everybody else in the league, Daniel Jones, ever since he got paid, he's thrown more pick sixes than touchdowns. That's really hard to do. That is awful. That is so awful. He has an 87.1 QBR when kept clean, which is not good at all, and then a 35.2 quarterback rating when pressured, which is not good at all. 40 interceptions in his career and 46 fumbles in his career, which is just darn bad, darn awful. Daniel Jones, they want to run him out of town. If he loses this game, I feel like he's going to be benched. Brian Daboll had to come out and announce that he's the starter. When you have a good quarterback and a legitimate starter, a perennial starter, you don't have to come out there and just announce that the guy's a starter. That's how you know Daniel Jones is on thin ice. There's fans for the Giants that they'd rather put Tommy DeVito and Drew Lock out there at this point. And I don't blame him. Look at the pick six that he threw last week to Van Ginkel from the Vikings. Look at the pick that he threw in the red zone. All the stuff that he's done, and even in the preseason, he threw that pick six. Like, he's just an underwhelming quarterback, but I can't talk trash because guess what? He wakes up against the Commanders. And even when he has bad games, he finds ways to win against the Commanders just for some way, somehow. But I get it. Dan Quinn is undefeated with the Cowboys against Daniel Jones, but we got to throw that out the window because we don't have Micah Parsons. We don't have the personnel that they have. So it's a different roster with a lesser secondary and not much of a pass rush. So that is different. But I do like Tyler Biadasz against Dexter Lawrence. Tyler Biadasz is not giving up a tackle for loss against Dexter Lawrence, and he's not giving up a pressure against Dexter Lawrence with his time in the Cowboys. He has not given up any sacks or a TFL to Dexter Lawrence when Tyler Biadasz went up head-to-head against against Dexter Lawrence. So I love that. I love that a lot because Nick Gates got his butt kicked last year against Dexter Lawrence. All right, so keys to victory. Let's start off with the defense here, guys. Force a turnover, that's clear and apparent. Ball is life. Ben St. Juste got to catch the interception. Daniel Jones is going to throw it our way. He's going to give us opportunities to take the ball away. We have to say ball is life and live it and breathe it and take the football away. Whether it's forcing a fumble on Danny fumbles, catching an interception, we have to force a turnover. We have to flip the field and help our offense out and get them in advantageous situations. Pressure and rattle Daniel Jones. You look what the Vikings were able to do. They were able to get to him and pressure him and rattle him. Once you get in his head and get in his head and he starts seeing ghosts, that's when his confidence, and there's going to be a good amount of Giants fans. Giants fans, they might fool around and start booing Daniel Jones in the stadium. I don't want there to be a lot of Giants fans, but I know there's going to be probably 40% down Giants fans in Northwest Stadium. I have a feeling there will be. Quarterback contain, gap integrity, rush lane integrity, because he's going to scramble guys. There might be some design runs for Daniel Jones. I know he's coming off that ACL injury, so he's not as quick as he used to be, but we have to stay disciplined on Daniel Jones that he's going to try to run. Third down defense, we were abysmal last week on third downs. Have to get off the field on third downs. I know that's a cliche, but we got to get off the field on third downs. Tackle and finish plays. John Allen, how many times have we seen him not wrap up and finish a play or a sack? Deron Payne, finish up, wrap up, get a sack. Cleveland Farrell, Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler, they were getting back there. It was a lot of $100 moves and 10-cent finishes on trying to wrap up and tackle, sack Baker Mayfield. We cannot let that happen again to Daniel Jones. We cannot let that happen. The thing is, when you drop an interception like Ben St. Juste did, you give the offense another opportunity, and they were able to make a play after we dropped that interception and score a field goal on that drive. Communication, secondary communication. Jeremy Chin looked lost in the sauce at times. Mikey Sanders still lost in the sauce. How many times have we seen miscommunication? Ben St. Juste, communication has to be better. Joe Witt Jr. has to be better with coaching the guys up to. The players got to play and execute. That's going to be huge. Ben St. Juste, turn your head around on Malik Neighbors. There's going to be times where Daniel Jones is going to give Malik Neighbors a chance down the field. You have to be able to have the wherewithal and track the football and turn around and knock it down. So he did a good job on Mike Evans, but Mike Evans is just a better player, and he tracked the football and caught a touchdown. I could clearly see that happening with Malik Neighbors on Sunday for sure. Same thing with Wan'Dale Robinson. Don't forget about Jalen Hyatt too. He had a pretty nice catch against us last year in New York, so don't forget about him either. Theo Johnson's not a bad tight end either. Offensive line, Andrew Thomas is a good left tackle. The right tackle replaced Evan Neal. They brought in John Runyon. So they had their offensive line. This could be an OG Bobby Johnson revenge game here, Coach Bobby Johnson. And then I think that's about it for the defense. Malik Neighbors limiting him, no explosive plays. Stop the run. There's no Saquon, so we have to make them one-dimensional and make Daniel Jones beat us. Stop Devin Singletary. Now, if it was Saquon, it would be a long day. But Devin Singletary is a guy that I believe we can keep in check. And I thought we did a good job stopping the run the first half. The second half is where we just kind of ran out of gas. And guys were, we got too hot and whatnot. And then I'll transition to Dan Quinn quickly before we get into the offense. Clock management, timeouts, fourth down decision-making, decisions on two-point conversions, when to throw the challenge flag or not, when to kick a field goal or when to punt. Austin Siebert, make your kicks. Yeah, clock management and just analytical football. He just has to improve. He did not look good in the first game with a 2-point, not doing a 2-point conversion. He also didn't go for it on a 4th and 3. He decided to kick a field goal on that 4th and 10. So there was some, and then didn't call the timeout before halftime with a 2-minute warning coming up, or I'm sorry, it was like a minute left or something like that. It was 3rd down. He didn't call a timeout. He let the clock run out. So there were some questionable decisions that Dan Quinn had where it's like, okay, you got to be better, man. You got to be better this week. And that was a knock on him in Atlanta. All right, offense. I talked about this. Establish a run game. This is a game where I think we can be advantageous on the ground and get at least not just Jaden running the ball, but I think our backs can have good runs this game. Like I feel like B-Rob can get 70 yards on the ground against this Giants defense. I really do. And Jaden, get the jitters out. You know, that pass behind B-Rob or the overthrow on Terry, the touch, you know, get the jitters out, man. Like have a lot of I think he played with confidence anyway, but I would say just get those jitters out. Get the touchdown. What are you seeing down the field? Are you running to run or are you going to run to look for guys down the field? And that's what Dan Quinn wants him to do. I don't want him to stop running though. Like keep doing your thing. If you see a lane and you feel like you can get 10 to 15 yards on a 3rd and 8, go for it. I'm all for it. But if you can stick around in the pocket and maybe run around and Terry gets open, you hit him over the middle, try that a little bit more too. And I think he just didn't try that much. I think some of it was a little bit of rookie nerves. Caleb Williams had rookie nerves. Bo Nix as well. And he played way better than those two guys for sure. Cliff, get Terry in positions where he can be successful. Move him around, you know, in the slot, on the other side. Like, you know, are you just going to line up on that one side? Like, it's statistically, yet on Sunday, they said he kept him on the left side like he did with DeAndre Hopkins. So I do want to see him move Terry around a little bit more. That's a key. That's something that I'm paying attention to. Get Austin Eckler involved, and other receivers have to step up. Noah Brown needs to be activated. De'Ami Brown, wake up. Can we get a target of him? Can we get him alive? Can we get a pulse from somebody other than Terry McLaurin? Noah Brown. I know Zach Ertz is going to get targeted. The tight ends and running backs are going to get targeted. But the other receivers, can we get a pulse? Luke McCaffrey, can we get a pulse from these other guys? But Jaden's got to find them too. So it's not just on the receivers. And then Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, protect our quarterback. I don't think we need to double these guys. I think this is actually better that Wink Martindale is gone because Wink Martindale used to give us a couple fits here and there. I think it's actually better that they got the other defensive coordinator or new defensive coordinator, and I actually like that. And Kayvon Thibodeau had 0 tackles and 0 sacks last week. Let's keep it this way. Let's not let him have a show up breakout game like he always does every year and thanking us that he got 10 sacks in the season and stuff like that. Let's not let that happen again ever again. He doesn't think it's a rivalry. I don't disagree with Kayvon because, you know, we've just been bad the past couple of years. So, you know, Kayvon said it's not a rivalry. Like I said, I don't disagree. Same thing with the Cowboys and Skins anymore. It's just not the same rivalry. So I can't disagree with what Kayvon said, but who cares? Let's stop that guy. I want 0 sacks, 0 tackles again for him. And then cook Deontay Banks. He's talking trash like he did last year. They have a solid defense. Adoree Jackson, Dexter Lawrence, Tyler Newman, the rookie. Like, they have talent. Isaiah Simmons, if he plays, like, they're not void of talent. They have some talented players on their team for sure, but I just think their defense is not. I think we can get some yards on their defense for sure. Oh, I forgot to say, Jaden Daniels, anytime touchdown score, something I look at. B-Rob, anytime touchdown score, something I would look at as well. All right, so let me wrap this up here, guys, because it's almost getting at 20 minutes. Bobby Orikake, they got him too. And then Cordell Flott, I saw him give up a touchdown pass last week. Deontay Banks gave up a touchdown pass to Justin Jefferson as well. So, but converting the red zone touchdowns, not field goals as well. B-Rob and Jaden Daniels, I got those guys getting touchdowns, getting in the end zone. And take a look at Austin Eckler getting an anytime touchdown score as well. All right, so final prediction here, guys. I know sometimes you guys probably just fast forward to the end and see who I pick. And I know you guys are not going to like me after this pick, guys. I'm sorry. But after watching the defense last week, the defenses, they have a long way to go. And for whatever reason, we just struggle against Daniel Jones. We struggle against Kayvon Thibodeau. I know it's a new day, a new coaching staff, and all that, new GM front office and all that stuff. But I just don't see us stopping Malik Neighbors or Wan'Dale Robinson. I think we're going to struggle with that. I think Daniel Jones is going to have another game where he has a better game than what he did last year against everybody else. And I still think there's a learning curve for Jaden at this point, but I think Jaden's going to have a good game on the ground and have a better game through the air. But I do think sometimes, I think Dan Quinn's going to struggle with analytics as well this game too. I think he's going to struggle with some decision making that's going to hurt us. Austin Siebert, he concerns me as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a missed kick, but I got us losing 23-20, 17-14, and these guys got to wrap up, man. They're not tackling well either. That's a struggle to me too. Bobby Wagner didn't look great to me last week either, with just being slow and lethargic. So I have us losing 23-20. I don't know if it comes down to a missed extra point or a missed field goal or a fumble. I hate to speak it into existence, but for whatever reason, guys, we just don't play well against the Giants, and I don't think this changes on Sunday, guys. I got us losing. So hopefully I'm not even reverse jinxing, but I hope that's what happens. But I in my gut, I have the Giants winning 23-20 or 17-14. The defense looked awful last week. And, that's just my take on it, guys. I just don't think the defense is going to get it done on Sunday. I think Gene's going to have a good game, but just not enough to win the game. So, all right, you guys let me know what you guys think. Like I said, if you guys are going, enjoy yourselves. Be loud. The crowd is going to be a huge key, too. We got to be loud and make some noise and force a false start. Force a couple false starts. All right, you guys, and rattle Daniel Jones. All right, you guys, Health Commanders, as always, have a good weekend. I'll see you guys on Sunday or tomorrow after they announce the Jersey on Johnny Newton news. Health Commanders, always, peace.